by a red forge-like glow. Uncle Ogu was said to be a master smith from the land of Mythic, an old land. Mai did not miss his father because Uncle Ogu acted as his father. One time they were sitting down and they were looking up at the stars, and Uncle Ogu was pointing to the planet Mars, and he said, "That is your planet. That is the planet of the warrior. It is my planet. It is also your planet. Remember that." And his mother, Barakad, said, "Well, remember, my son, don't hate. Compassion is your superpower." Can we all say that? Don't hate. Compassion is your superpower. Let's say it again. Let's just get that in here. Don't hate. Compassion is your superpower. So Mai went around saying that a litany, an affirmation that kept him sane. And as he grew into a strong young man. But in his 9th year, everything changed. You see, there was a courtier in the house of Sepua who was very jealous of the success of Barakad and did not think that a woman should even be ruling in the first place. He wanted to rule, so he went and spoke to mercenaries and told them that on this day, at that time, in this place, I will open the door into the back of the tunnel that leads away from the castle. And you will come into the tunnel and you will slay all of the Sepua and carry their children away to use as slaves. At this point, you're all supposed to go, so I'll say it again. And you will carry away their children to use as slaves. Exactly. Yes. Precisely. So, it happened. The mercenaries came in through the tunnel and in the dead of the night began to slay and slash and stab and kill sleeping warriors. Sleeping warriors. They kind of remind me of another people that came somewhere and killed people, but didn't really explain what. So they killed sleeping warriors. Decency does not permit me to say what they did to the women. But I'm sure that you know, because war and alcohol seem to breed a passion and madness in the minds and in the hearts of the men who are involved. And they commit atrocities that they cannot even believe they committed after when they are calmed down. But it does not excuse them, and they deserve to have post-traumatic stress after something like that. So, Mai was forced to watch as his mother was violated by this beast. And Mai looked at this man and had this man's image engraved in his heart. His mother always used to say to him, "Don't hate. Compassion is your superpower." His mother always used to say to him, "Don't hate. Compassion is your superpower." But when I watched this tattooed man with inky black smokiness around his body, as if the tattoos were alive somehow, violating his mother, a new emotion entered his heart. It was a desire for vengeance and a definite pattern of hatred. Hatred. He couldn't even hear his mother's words. His mother always used to say, "Don't hate. Compassion is your superpower." But Mai couldn't hear this again. All he remembered was bouncing on the back of a camel, looking at these prisoners being dragged, and ending up in the mine of Mosima, a far outflung post, a far outpost of the Ghana Empire, not present-day Ghana, but Ghana that existed 1,000 years ago, and entered into the mine to become a fighting slave in the pit of the mine of Mosima, known as the MOOR. And on the first day that he was there, a giant Arab man called Al-Farouk stood in the center of the arena, and with his hands up, he said, "Today we fight, today we die, today we step into eternity." I'm not going to make you say this. I don't want to confirm things that I don't want to happen to you. And as he shouted this, the crowd responded with, "Today we fight, today we die, today we step into eternity." Al-Farouk strolled round and he looked at the boys and said, "Today you will fight, today you will die. You might live, but if you do live, then we will teach you how to use the weapon." And he laughed like he made a good job. "Then we teach you how to use the weapon." Anyway, so what I'm saying is that you will fight each other. If you do not, they will kill you. And he pointed to the Askaris, black people wearing those fez helmets who were serving the Arabs. They will kill you. And they looked and they saw these people with spears and they knew that they had no choice. Mai did not want to kill the boy that he had to face. He did not want to kill the boy, but he had a new litany in his head, and that litany was, "Kill the tattooed man, escape this place, get revenge." And so he was determined to escape. He was determined to get revenge. He was determined, and therefore he knew that he was going to have to kill the boy, although he did not want to. And so they fought, and Mai moved and slashed and jumped and stabbed, and eventually he killed that boy. And so began a cycle of violence and murder that Mai was caught up in. And his litany of "Kill the tattooed man, escape this place, get revenge," replaced the litany that his mother always used to say to him, which was, "Don't hate, compassion is superpower." Except she used to say it with one voice. So his mother always used to say, "Don't hate, compassion is your superpower." Yeah, like that. But he could not hear it. And he fought and became stronger and became a masterful warrior. But his arms, his legs were fueled by the passion of hatred. When Mai was 16 or 17, something pivotal happened. He fought a man called Sigmund Fireaxe, a young boy, I would say, a boy called Sigmund Fireaxe, a Viking who was equally skilled in arms as Mai. And although Mai killed him, he was severely injured. And he woke up on a table with a man, a dark black man, standing over him, wearing white robes and holding his hands over Mai's chest. And Mai could feel a warmth inside his chest, but he didn't know what it was. He opened his eyes and he fell back into a slumber. And as he fell back into this slumber, he saw a pair of eyes coming towards him, yellow eyes. And when he looked more closely, he saw that the eyes belonged to a lion. In his dream, he backed away. Looking at the eyes came closer. The lion growled, and my turn, and began to run. And he woke up again. And when he woke up again, he saw that the dark black man, the dark, black man, just in case you didn't understand, he was black. He was black. The dark, black. Black is black. Was standing over him again, and that this man had an assistant who was brown. And the assistant stood and watched. The assistant couldn't stop talking. Master, Dichi, you are doing it. I think he's getting better. But I think he's getting better though. Will you just be quiet? Master, it's amazing. And then Mike fell back to sleep again. And when he fell asleep again, he saw the eyes coming towards him. This mighty lion, whose shoulders were as tall as my shoulders, coming towards him. And my turn, and he ran, and he woke up again. And this time, the man, whose name was Dame, so the younger person called Mfundisi, which means master, said, I have been waiting for you. There is a prophecy that says that a scion of the Sepua dynasty will come to this place, and that he will change the world. So I am waiting for you to get better. Then we will leave this place. Myla. Leave this place. Do you know how many times I've tried to leave this place? Do you know how thick the walls are? The guards are on every exit. There is no way to leave this place. I'm sorry. I appreciate everything you have done. But Baba, I don't mean to be rude, but you are deluded. We can't escape. The elder, as elders do, just smiled and said, don't worry, just wait. Mike fell back asleep. He saw the lion. He ran away. He woke up. This time, he was feeling better. And Dame said to him, let us go. And Dame began to stand like actually was standing like this before, and began to move his hand whilst holding energy in his hand, and he rubbed his hand in a circle like you are all about to do right now. He moved his hand in a circle. And as he moved his hand in a circle, he breathed deeply in what I just was called a dantier. And as he did this, a silvery circle appeared on the wall. Keep on doing it, we want the silvery circle to appear. You don't want it to disappear now. So a silvery circle appeared on the wall, and through it, Mike could see a forest. I told you to wait. And the man passed through. And so did Mike. And the assistant. And they were in a forest. You can stop now. Thank you. They were in a forest. A beautiful forest. A peaceful forest. A mine. Can you imagine being in a mine, a pit, fighting for your life, more or less every day, and then suddenly being out in the open sky? Beautiful forest trees, smell, the sound of the birds, the sound of a bubbling brook, the fresh air. How would you feel? Can I get some words quickly? How would you feel? You're smiling. What? Give me some words. Freedom. That's right. Get here. Divine. What else? Some other words. In awe. Anything else? Living. Self-determination. Elated. Ooh, I like that word. Elated. Fascinated. He was all of those things. Couldn't believe it. He walked around, seriously, his mouth was like this. So much so that this boy, who was trained in awareness and reflexes for so many years, was bumping into trees, tripping over sticks because he couldn't believe where he was. He was also discombobulated. You don't know what the word means. So he fell asleep that night, feeling very peaceful. Very, very peaceful. And as he slept, he saw the lion again. And this time the lion walked up to him. But man, he didn't run this time. He stood there. Because he was a lion, right? He wasn't standing there without fear. And the lion moved to him. And then it rose up on his hind legs and put its paws on his shoulders and breathed into his mouth. And man woke up just in time because he saw galloping towards him on a mighty horse with the lance lowered the same tattooed man that had violated his mother. When Mai saw that, it was like super strength just entered his body. He leapt up, he moved aside, and he stabbed the tattooed man. But the tattooed man was an equal warrior, and so their fight lasted for a while. But in the end, Mai stood over the tattooed man. The man was out cold. Mai held his spear, ready to plunge into the tattooed man's breast. He was ready. He thought about his mother. He thought about all the people that he had lost. And he said, and as he was about to stab the man, he heard his mother's voice. And his mother's voice said, and as he heard this, something occurred, something he could not quite understand. And he dropped the spear, but as he dropped the spear, he also struck the man such a mighty blow on his sternum, at the same time as shouting from his lower chakra all the way into his throat chakra. It was a sound like this. So I would like to hear everybody shout just like that. And it must sound exactly like, just in your own way, in your own way. So there we go. Here we are. Get ready. After 3, we're going to say like we up to the so just do that. After 3. 1, 2, 3. And when he did this, the man jolted like he had an electric shock. And then something incredible began to happen. The man began to shrink and grow smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller, until the clothes that he was wearing covered him like a blanket. And so Mai moved the clothes aside and saw on the floor before him a tiny baby. A baby, no tattoos, no inky black marks, just a baby. And he picked up the baby and he looked in the baby's eyes. And he saw innocence. He saw innocence. And he could not compute how this innocence was also that monster. But he remembered his mother's litany, which was, "Don't hate, compassion is your superpower." And so he sang to the baby and rocked the baby and turned down and saw that man, the dark, black man, smiling.